Hello and welcome. Today we are looking at the SHRC SH2 quadcopter drone. This small drone has an optical flow camera underneath for stable positioning. It has a 1080p camera. It has Wi-Fi FPV streaming, and it has a large capacity battery for a long flight time. So let's check it out. Now the drone comes in this simple white rectangular box showing the quadcopter in the front, and it's SHRC SH2 for ages 14 plus. And the package is remarkably simple. There's really not much writing on it at all. Here is the back of the box showing one perspective of the quadcopter. And then here is the front showing a larger view of the quadcopter. But overall, a very simple layout here with not much writing. Down here is just warning and additional information. And if you're interested, you can get more information here at their website, shrchobby.com. And here are the different model types. There's a silver model and a black model, and there's an HD camera version, I'm guessing, and so on and so forth. This is the, I believe this is the 1080p camera version. That's what was advertised. So without further ado, let's open it up and check it out right here. Right. So open this up. There's the box inside. So let's pull this out here. So here is the quadcopter. As you can see, nice and neatly laid out there. So here is the drone right here. Here is the clip or mobile device clip that you attach onto the transmitter. So that's pretty cool. So have the transmitter here and the quadcopter. Here we have propeller guards right here, a little bag with 4 propeller guards. And then this is the final little bag that has the charger, spare propellers, I believe a screwdriver, and the instruction manual. So pretty nice setup here. So let's organize all this and take a final look at all the contents of the box. Now, taking a final look at the contents of the box, we have the drone itself. It's 3.7 volt, 2500 milliamp LiPo battery, 4 spare propellers, 4 propeller guards, the mobile device mount for the transmitter, the battery's charger, a screwdriver, a little bag of screws, and the instruction manual and brochures. So that's essentially the contents of the box. Now let's take a closer look at the drone. Now, taking a closer look at this drone, this is a very nice looking small quadcopter that highly resembles the Hubsan H502E and S models, only this one is in black, and SHRC also has a silver version of this as well. And this is a brushed motor quadcopter with very bright colorful LEDs at the bottom there in blue and red. So this is definitely a good night flyer and has very good orientation. Right here at the front is supposedly it's 1080p fixed camera, but the lens is quite small, and perhaps this may be the lower resolution package, but this was advertised to be the 1080p version. But the output quality of the video is definitely of lower quality. But moving on to its optical flow sensor camera at the bottom, here it is right there, and it does a good job of maintaining its position. And so right there is the optical flow camera although that camera doesn't seem to be used to take any sort of photos or video. Right here on the side is what was probably intended to be an SD card slot, although the components inside have been removed, so it really isn't utilized. So all the footage taken from this camera is saved directly to your phone through Wi-Fi FPV streaming. And but overall, it's a good-looking small quadcopter. Right here at the top, it says it's SHRC, and I believe that's HR, and it has gold stripes there at the top. But a very nice-looking small quadcopter, very fast and agile. And right here is its battery bay, so let's take a closer look at its battery. It does have a higher capacity battery this time around, so let's take a look at that. So here's its battery. It's a 3.7 volt 2500 milliamp LiPo battery, and it's pretty large considering this type of quadcopter. It does take a while to charge with its included charger. It takes anywhere from 90 minutes to 2 hours to charge. But it does give the quadcopter an excellent time, or flight time. It's advertised to be 20 or over 20 minutes of flight time, but I've been getting about 17-18 minutes worth of flight. So definitely a very good level of flight time with this battery. You can use Sky Viper batteries that are pretty easy to find, such as this one right here, this 3.7 volt 1200 milliamp LiPo battery. It might be slightly loose in the battery bay because there is quite a bit of space there in the battery bay, but you know, you can wedge that in there somehow, and this obviously won't give you the amount of flight time as this battery, but it also takes a little less time to charge, and you could definitely fly it around for quite a bit with this battery. So you know, you do have the option of using these batteries, which are very easy to find and very prevalent. Also, you can interchange the charger, so you can use a Sky Viper charger for this type of connection with this battery and vice versa. So that's pretty cool. And overall, just a very neat little quadcopter. It's a nice smooth flyer with plenty of flight time. So very cool. So now let's take a closer look at its transmitter. Now, going over the transmitter, once again, we have a very comfy gamepad-like transmitter here. And as you can see, it's very well labeled. So you can see the controls very clearly. And quickly going over them, we have our left throttle stick and right rudder stick. We have our power switch there in the middle. We have our speed control right here, speed button that has 3 rates of speed. On the right, we have our flip button, and you simply move the rudder in the direction you want it to flip. Right here we have the headless mode button, and right here we have the reset trim button, and then the rest are just trims. Here's the yaw trim right here, the pitch trim there at the right, and the roll trim there at the bottom right. So those are essentially the controls here, and this transmitter does take 4 AAA batteries, as you can see here, 4 AAA batteries. So overall, a very straightforward controller here, and it does have a mobile device clip here, which is very easy to set up here. You just simply place the transmitter there, and you just snap it in place here, and it snaps in very securely there, as you can see. And it does have an ample amount of space for a large cell phone, not quite a tablet, but definitely a pretty large mobile device that you can put there. And so this is the setup there. So pretty neat. So now let's take a look at setting up for a first-time flight and at looking at the app. Setting up for a first-time flight is pretty straightforward. Once your batteries have been fully charged, you would first connect the quadcopter's battery, since there is no on-off button. So we'll do that right now. So once you connect the battery, the quadcopter will start to flash like this. Next, you want to turn on the transmitter right here at the center. So you turn it on. And then now you need to bind the transmitter with the quadcopter by putting the left throttle stick up and down, and you'll hear a couple of beeps. At that point, you should be bound, and the lights should be solid on both the transmitter and the quadcopter. And then the next recommended step is to perform all your calibrations, such as your gyro calibration. And the gyro calibration is by putting both sticks down and to the right. And then you can perform another calibration by putting both sticks down and to the left. And I believe that down and to the left is the same thing as this reset right here. So if you push that, I believe it does the same thing, and that might reset all the trims. So now all your calibrations have been performed. Your transmitter is bound to the quadcopter. So now you're ready to set up the app for Wi-Fi FPV. So let's enter the drone's Wi-Fi right now. So once in your mobile device's Wi-Fi settings, you want to look for an entry here that says SHRC Wi-Fi, and it'll have a serial number there. There is no default Wi-Fi password initially, so you simply connect to that. And once you do that, you have to install and run this app, which is SHRC Wi-Fi. Right there, SHRC Wi-Fi. And it's in the Android and iOS app stores. And the icon looks like that, SHRC. And so you would launch that, and you will be greeted with this screen right here. Now there's certain options and help and tutorial videos to get you started, but initially you mainly want to start out right here with the play, and that'll set you up with the quadcopter's live feed. So right now, as you can see, we have a live feed here with the quadcopter right here, and it has a pretty decent range here for the Wi-Fi FPV. It has about a 50 to 100 meter FPV range, as well as control range with the transmitter. So now going briefly over the app right here, this arrow will take you back to the main menu. This will take pictures, this will take videos, this will access your saved videos and pictures in the gallery. These two seem to be related to an SD card, which doesn't really exist on the quadcopter, and it just gives you a prompt. So they really don't seem to be doing anything right there. Next, this is your altitude hold and your speed buttons if you enable the virtual controls on this, and you can simply enable them by just touching the screen. And you will see the virtual controls here, such as the trims, the emergency stop, the 360 flips, your throttle and rudder. So if you push this altitude hold here icon, it will spring load the left throttle stick. And then this is your speed adjustment icon, so you can push that a few times to increase the speed, as you can see with 3 states there. This will enable the gyroscope mode of flying, so you can tilt your phone in a certain direction and the quadcopter will fly in that direction, but you can disable that. This icon here will make the screen clear, so to remove all the heads-up display, so you can use it for FPV. And then right here, this will enable some additional controls here, such as headless mode here with this icon. This is the gyro calibration that it'll perform, and this will split the screen so that you can see the FPV in your goggles. This will flip or mirror the screen upside down if necessary. And then these will this will enable waypoint mode, so you can draw a pattern with your right rudder stick and it will fly that pattern. And then that's about it. So overall, this is a neat looking, cool flying quadcopter. Hopefully the quality of the camera is improved in another version of this, but overall it's a cool long flyer. So let's check out its performance.